Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Vedant Agarwal. Our lead story, well, in the Karnataka sex tapes case, H.D. Revanna has now been taken into custody by the SIT. This just minutes after a sessions court, in fact, denied interim bail to H.D. Revanna. In fact, there were arguments made that he's an influential man and they need to ascertain whether there were more victims in the case. This, as a hunt for Prajwal Revanna is still on, and the CBI has tightened its noose as well. A Blue Corner notice shall be issued. My colleague Pratibha Raman with the latest.
ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾನೂನು ರೀತಿಯ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಅವರು ಆಂಟಿಸಿಪೇಟರಿ ಬೇಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತೆ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಕಿಡ್ನಾಪ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಂಟಿಸಿಪೇಟರಿ ಬೇಲ್ ಸಿಕ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ವಜಾ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಆಂಟಿಸಿಪೇಟರಿ ಬೇಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಸ್ಟಡಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾ ಇನ್ನ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
H.D. ರೇವಣ್ಣ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಬಂಧನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಾನೂನು ತನ್ನ ಕ್ರಮ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಲಾ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್. ಅವರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಪಾದನೆಗಳ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ಕೇಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಏನು ಕೆಲವು ಪುರಾವೆಗಳು ಲಭ್ಯ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, ಆ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಬಂಧನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಬಂಧನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಜಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ
ಜಾಮೀನಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಜಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಸರ್, ಅರ್ಜಿನೇ
ಅದು ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ನವರು ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇವ್ರು ಬಂಧನ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Well, it's been around 1.5 hours since H.D. Revanna landed at the CID office here, and he is in the custody of the SIT officials. Now, to record this as an arrest, the SIT officials need to produce H.D. Revanna before the magistrate and will also have to do a medical examination of H.D. Revanna. Now, post that, the custodial interrogation will take place. Now, that is going to play a key role in terms of providing different breakthroughs as well as leads in terms of this particular case, because we are talking of 3 FIRs that have been registered, where 2 of them point fingers at H.D. Revanna. One is a sexual harassment case and the other that we are talking about is a kidnapping case. Now, the kidnapping cases are pretty grave in nature because that becomes a non-bailable section under 364A of the IPC that we are talking of here. And most of them have been talking about, especially the prosecution at the court before the interim bail plea was rejected at the Sessions Court in Bengaluru today. The prosecution was talking about the victim that in this particular case, who was featured in the controversial video as well. And she has been allegedly abducted is what we hear according to that FIR. Now, if this could be the handiwork of H.D. Revanna, then imagine the plight of several of the victims who could play a crucial role in terms of cracking this particular investigation. Now, the interrogation will also look at the whereabouts of his son Prajwal Revanna, because all kinds of channels have been invoked, including the central agency's help that has been sought by the SIT now in terms of issuing a blue corner notice for Mr. Prajwal Revanna there. The key question is, when will Prajwal Revanna be arrested? When will he return to India? And when will he begin the cooperation with the SIT here?
And moving now to the other big headline, tragic news from Jammu and Kashmir. A terrorist attack has been reported in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch. In fact, an IAF convoy was attacked in which 1 IAF personnel has been killed. There are at least 4 other IAF personnel who've been injured as well. Nazir Masoodi with the latest.
Now we can confirm, officials have confirmed that 1 Air Force personnel has been killed in action during this attack on Air Force convoy in Poonch. 5 other Air Force personnel are injured. 1 of them is stated to be critical, but 4 others are stable. They were shifted to Army's command hospital in Udhampur. This is the biggest attack on armed forces in this region this year. Last year, this region witnessed a series of attacks on the army in which more than 20 soldiers, including special forces personnel, were killed. And this is the first such attack on the Air Force. Air Force is not involved in this counter-militancy operation, even as They have set up the Garud force, which have been part of the anti-militancy operation in Kashmir. But in this region, this is the first such attack on the Air Force. Whether this was a targeted attack or militants were waiting to target the army, because most of the all attacks which have happened in this region over the last 2 years, army was the specific target, and today it is the Air Force. So despite the fact that army has inducted one more division in this particular area, 3 brigades, after a series of attacks last year, in December and January, more troops were inducted, and which it looks like that militancy may have stopped there. But this attack has clearly shown that in the difficult and dense forests of Poonch and Rajouri, militants are still there, operating there. Last week, there was an encounter attack on village defense group in Udhampur, in which one village VDG or village defense guard was killed. After that, multiple, counter-militancy operations were launched from Udhampur right up to the Kutwa, which is on the Punjab border, but no militant could be tracked down. There were reports there was this fresh infiltration attempts, so clearly it indicates that as the elections are going on in Poonch, Rajouri and Anantnag constituency, which were actually scheduled to be held in the third phase on 7th of this month, they have been now deferred to 25th of month in the 6th phase. So while the election process is going on, this major attack is a major security challenge for the security forces, as it is the first such attack on the Air Force in which one Air Force person has lost his life in action and 5 others are injured.
So, well, militancy has been on the rise in the Poonch-Rajouri belt. But moving now to other news, well, the latest controversy in West Bengal over the Sandesh Khali sting operation, the alleged sting operation, which shows that a BJP man is claiming that there were no rapes in Sandesh Khali. Mamata Banerjee says BJP orchestrated the entire Sandesh Khali controversy and manufactured allegations. This is BJP says that one man's claims cannot override hundreds of affidavits. Take a look at how the TMC versus BJP flashpoint played out.
বিজেপির লোকেরা যাদেরকে দিয়ে কমপ্লেন করিয়েছে তারা বলছে আমরা টাকা দিয়ে ফেক কমপ্লেন করিয়েছি। সে নিজে স্বীকার করছে কোনো ধর্ষণ হয়নি, আমি ব্রেন ওয়াশ করিয়ে ফেক ধর্ষণের কেস রেজিস্টার করেছি। আমার কথা না, বিজেপির মণ্ডল সভাপতির কথা। এবং গতকালও প্রধানমন্ত্রী এসে তার 3টে জনসভা থেকে একই কথা সন্দেশখালি বলে গেছেন। আমি বিজেপির কেন্দ্রের নেতাদের বলবো যে আপনারা যদি বাংলার মানুষের কাছে 48 ঘন্টায় ক্ষমা না চান, তাহলে ধরে নিতে হবে যে আপনাদের অঙ্গুলি হেলনেই এই ষড়যন্ত্র সাজানো হয়েছিল।
The BJP has set very high targets for this election, not just nationally, but also in West Bengal. And many political analysts and experts believe that if the BJP manages to increase its tally significantly in West Bengal, nationally, it would be able to repeat the same picture. Joining me now, someone who's very much a part of those plans, Dr. Shukanta Majumdar, State President of the BJP, sir. The BJP is now looking at an imprint that is looking to grow significantly. And how has the election been so far? Your own seat has been completed.
So till now 2 phases of election has been over now. 2 phases have been over. And I feel that out of 6 seats, BJP will all of them, and this time, especially in North Bengal, which is very beneficial zone for us and fruitful zone for us. In North Bengal zone, last time in 2019, we have lost 1 seat only out of 8, and I think this time we will win all the seats of that zone.
So obviously one thing that I want to ask you is this Sandesh Khali issue. Sandesh Khali has become a political issue. It has become an election issue. The BJP has raised it. Has it worked? And especially given the context of what we've seen, the response from the Trinamool or the sting operation that has come out, where Gangadhar Koyal, a leader, is heard admitting that that Rekha Patro took money, or that there were no rape cases, or that arms were planted. This is shown in that video. We haven't verified the video independently, but it's very clear that he has admitted it's his voice, but he's saying it's a conspiracy also. What is the video, and does it blunt your Sandesh Khali attack on the TMC?
See, this is nothing but a rubbish, because only one man, suppose he is, even I have not checked that video whether it is authentic or not, but if for a moment we think that it is a true video, in that case also, in front of a camera, hidden camera, one public is saying something. But how can a statement from a single person ignore the affidavit filed by more than 600, 700 people, including the women? They have stated that this kind of incident happened with us. How many people you can bribe? Is it possible to bribe so many people? Okay, for a moment I feel that, I accept that you can bribe one woman, two women, but not more than that. You cannot bribe 700, 600 people.
And moving now to the big political showdown in the national capital, only intensifying as the polls draw closer. Well, the ex-Congress state chief Arvinder Singh Lovely has joined the BJP. This is days after he stepped down from the state Congress chief post. He joined the BJP there with Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri and the BJP Delhi President Virendra Sachdeva present there. He said that the Delhi Congress is dividing the nation. In fact, he also went on to say that the BJP flag will fly high in the national capital. He quit over differences with the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress High Command.
18 वर्ष की आयु में मैंने कांग्रेस पार्टी ज्वाइन की थी। ठीक बात है कि बीच में कुछ समय के लिए मैं आया था और कुछ माह में वापस चला गया था, इसलिए कि 18 वर्ष में हमको ये बताया गया था कि इंदिरा जी ने एक भाषण किया था और कहा था कि मेरा खून का कतरा कतरा इस देश के लिए है। और आज अगर हम वापस आए हैं तो इसलिए आए हैं कि हमने भाषण सुना था कतरे कतरे का। आज कांग्रेस पार्टी कतरे कतरे से टुकड़े टुकड़े तक पहुंच गई है।
कुछ लोगों की जो निजी स्वार्थ हैं और जो निजी महत्वाकांक्षाएं हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है। ये वही लवली जी हैं जिन्होंने मुखर होकर आम आदमी पार्टी के साथ अलायंस की वकालत की थी और आज बहाने के साथ छोड़कर, क्योंकि उनको बीजेपी की गोद में जाकर बैठना था, कहीं ना कहीं ये भी एक ऐसा ही एग्जाम्पल मिलेगा कि बाहर रहते हुए करप्शन और अंदर आते वो सफ़ेद कपड़े पहन के तैयार हो जाते हैं। तो माननीय लवली जी के लिए हो सकता है कोई ना कोई ज़रूर मजबूरी रही होगी, लेकिन निश्चित ही उनका कैरेक्टर सामने आया और इस कैरेक्टर को आज जनता पहचान चुकी है।
And with that, we'll take a short break now, but news continues on the other side. Welcome back. It's a season of political jibes, and political rhetoric is only getting sharper on the campaign trail, with the Prime Minister hitting out at Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav, calling them Shehzadas of Delhi and Bihar. But this is Priyanka Gandhi retorted. She took, in fact, a Badshah jibe at the Prime Minister in response to his Shehzada attack. Take a look.
जैसे एक शहजादे दिल्ली में है, वैसे ही एक शहजादे पटना में भी है। एक शहजादे ने बचपन से पूरे देश को और दूसरे शहजादे ने पूरे बिहार को अपनी जागीर समझा है। इन दोनों शहजादों के रिपोर्ट कार्ड एक जैसे ही हैं। इनके रिपोर्ट कार्ड में सिवाय घोटालों और बेलगाम कानून व्यवस्था के सिवाय कुछ भी नहीं है।
शहजादा बोलते हैं। मैं उनको बताना चाहती हूं, ये शहजादे 4000 किलोमीटर पैदल चले हैं। कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक आपकी समस्याओं को सुनने के लिए चले हैं। मेरी बहनों से मिले हैं, मेरे भाइयों से मिले हैं, किसानों से मिले हैं, मजदूरों से मिले हैं, और एक तरफ आपके शहंशाह नरेंद्र मोदी जी महलों में रहते हैं। आपने कभी टीवी पे उनका चेहरा देखा है? एकदम साफ सुथरा सफेद कुर्ता, एक दाग नहीं है धूल का।
And now our special hot seat series, the constituency in focus is Barpeta. In fact, it's a new political reality in Lower Assam after the delimitation exercise. It's a challenge for the BJP's regional allies. We leave you with this report.
Song and dance in his usual campaigning style. For Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma in Bongaigaon, Lower Assam's commercial hub and part of Barpeta Lok Sabha constituency, going to polls in phase 3. But more than the BJP, it is the party's regional allies that have more at stake in the third and final phase of the Lok Sabha elections in Assam. BJP's oldest ally, Assam Gana Parishad, is pushing hard on Barpeta, a seat currently held by the Congress.
In the 2023 delimitation of the Assembly and Lok Sabha segments in Assam, many Muslim-dominated Assembly segments were hived out of the Barpeta seat and Hindu-dominated seats were added, therefore forcing political parties to field mostly Hindu candidates.
Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata ki!
The AGP has not won a Lok Sabha election after 2009. Wanting to end the drought, it has fielded veteran politician and former minister, 72-year-old Fani Bhushan Chaudhary, who has been Bongaigaon MLA for 8 consecutive terms since 1985.
अभी का जो बरपेटा क्षेत्र का डेमोग्राफी है, इसमें हम लोग जितना इजी हो गया है और हम लोग बहुत करीब 5 लाख वोटों से हम लोग जीतेंगे।
The NDA is banking on a split in opposition votes between the Congress, CPM and TMC. The NDA has been desperate to win Barpeta, which houses one of the most revered Vaishnavite monasteries, where the last non-Muslim MP was Udbhav Burman of the CPIM in 1996. 90 kilometers away, Kokrajhar is the nerve center of Assam's Bodoland Territorial Region or BTR, a scheduled tribe reserve seat. Bodos, the largest plain tribe in the northeast, constitute about 35% of the population. The area in past has been witness to conflicts between the Bodos and at least 19 non-Bodo communities.
There is a lot of poll buzz in Kokrajhar, which has probably come out of its violent past and is breathing peace. Many say this is the fallout of the successful BTR accord. In this election, there is a key fight among two regional forces in Bodoland region. The BPF, which had been in power for a long time in the Bodoland region, and BJP's ally, the UPPL, which has recently come to power. Therefore, the battle at Kokrajhar is about regional supremacy. But along with it, it is also about the issues of the people, of development, as this once restive region now is looking towards peace. And it comes at a time when its 2-time sitting MP has been this time disqualified.
While even TMC and Congress has candidates in Kokrajhar, the contest is between Jayanto Basumatari of the UPPL and Kampa Borgoyari of the BPF.
16,70,000 वोट में से कितने आएंगे? 10 लाख या थोड़ा बहुत मैंने 10,20,000 जैसा मैंने मतदान होगा, वोटिंग हो सकते हैं। तो इसी में से हमको 70% मिलेगा। हमारे यहाँ जो BTR जो एग्रीमेंट हुआ है, तो इस एग्रीमेंट के कुछ जो क्लोज है, इस क्लोज को अभी भी इसको इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया गया है, तो इस क्लोज को इम्प्लीमेंट करना है।
Will unite all the people speaking different languages, having different faith and religion, and will bring unity, integrity and development in the area. They have not utilized the council money for the development of the area. They have spawned up all entire money.
and most probably they will be utilizing this money to purchase bomb.
In 2019, NDA had won 9 seats of the total 14 in Assam, all from the BJP. This time, if NDA has to maximize seats from Assam, the allies will have to deliver. From Kokrajhar and Bongaigaon, with camera person Sanjay Chakravarti, Ratleep Chaudhary for NDTV.